Welcome to this dark and twisted tale of murder and mystery. On a summer morning in 1892, Andrew Borden was found brutally murdered in his home in Fall River, Massachusetts. His daughter, Lizzie, was the primary suspect and went on trial for the crime, becoming a media sensation. Was Lizzie guilty, or was she a victim of circumstance? Join us as we explore the evidence and delve into the minds of the suspects in this shocking case that remains unsolved to this day. On the morning of August 4, 1892, Andrew Borden was found brutally murdered in his home in Fall River, Massachusetts. His wife, Abby Borden, was also found murdered in the home just a short time later. Abby Borden, also known as Abby Durfee Gray, was the second wife of Andrew Borden and the stepmother of Lizzie Borden. Abby was found brutally murdered upstairs in the guest room of the Borden home in Fall River, Massachusetts. She had been struck multiple times in the head with a heavy object, believed to be a hatchet. The primary suspect in the murders was Andrew's daughter, Lizzie Borden. However, there were a few other potential suspects that were considered by authorities and by the public. One possible suspect was a woman named Bridget Sullivan, who was the Bordens' maid at the time of the murders. Some people believed that Sullivan may have had a motive to kill the Bordens, as she had reportedly had a difficult relationship with them. However, there was no concrete evidence linking Sullivan to the murders, and she was never formally charged. Another potential suspect was a man named Harry Gordon, who was a business associate of Andrew Borden's. There were rumors that Gordon may have had a motive to kill Borden, but again, there was no concrete evidence linking him to the crime. Over the years, many people have proposed alternative theories about the murders, including the following. Some people believe that Lizzie Borden was innocent and that the real killer was never caught. These theories often propose other potential suspects, such as the Borden's maid, Bridget Sullivan, Lizzie's uncle John, or the business associate of Andrew Borden's named Harry Gordon. However, there is no concrete evidence linking these individuals to the crime. Another theory is that the murders were committed by a group of Irish immigrants who were seeking revenge against Andrew Borden for perceived wrongs. This theory is based on the fact that Andrew Borden had a reputation for being a tough businessman who was not well liked by everyone in the community. However, there is no concrete evidence to support this theory. Some people believe that the murders were committed by a member of the Borden family other than Lizzie. This could potentially include Lizzie's sister, Emma, or one of Andrew Borden's other children from a previous marriage. Again, there is no concrete evidence to support this theory. It's worth noting that these are just a few of the many alternative theories that have been proposed about the Borden murders. Here are a few highlights of the trial. Lizzie was indicted for the murders on November 9, 1892. She pleaded not guilty and was released on bail. The trial began on June 5, 1893. Lizzie was represented by a team of high-profile lawyers, including Andrew Jennings and George D. Robinson. One of the key pieces of evidence against Lizzie was a hatchet that was found in the Borden home, which was believed to be the weapon used in the murders. However, there was no blood on the hatchet and it was never conclusively proven to be the murder weapon. Lizzie took the stand in her own defense and denied any involvement in the murders. She claimed that she had been in the barn at the time of the murders and had no knowledge of what had happened. The prosecution argued that Lizzie had a motive for the murders, as she stood to inherit a significant amount of money from her father's estate. However, the defense pointed out that there was no concrete evidence linking Lizzie to the crime. On June 20, 1893, the jury returned a verdict of not guilty, acquitting Lizzie of the murders. The verdict was met with mixed reactions, with some people believing that Lizzie was innocent and others convinced of her guilt. According to Lizzie, she had been in the barn at the time of the murders and had no knowledge of what had happened. She testified that she had gone to the barn to get a piece of iron to fix a broken lawnmower. She claimed that she had been in the barn for a short time before returning to the house and discovering her father's body. Lizzie's testimony was met with skepticism by some people, as there were a number of inconsistencies in her account of events. For example, she was unable to provide a clear explanation for why she had not heard the sounds of the murders taking place, even though she was only a short distance from the house. Despite these inconsistencies, the jury ultimately acquitted Lizzie of the murders. The verdict was met with mixed reactions, with some people believing that Lizzie was innocent and others convinced of her guilt. After Lizzie Borden was acquitted of the murders of her father, Andrew Borden, and her stepmother, Abby Borden, in 1893, she returned to Fall River, Massachusetts, where she had lived before the trial. Lizzie was a controversial figure in Fall River, with some people believing that she was innocent and others convinced of her guilt. She was ostracized by much of the community and had difficulty finding friends or associates. In an effort to escape the negative attention, Lizzie and her sister, Emma, moved to a new home in nearby New Bedford, Massachusetts. They lived quietly, rarely leaving their home or interacting with their neighbors. Lizzie died of pneumonia on June 1, 1927, at the age of 66. She was buried in the family plot at Oak Grove Cemetery in Fall River, alongside her parents and other family members. Despite her acquittal, the murders of Andrew and Abby Borden remain a mystery to this day, and Lizzie Borden remains one of the most famous murder suspects in American history. Her name has become synonymous with the crime, and she has been the subject of numerous books, movies, and television shows. Thank you for watching this video on the murder of Andrew Borden and the trial of Lizzie Borden. If you found this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more historical content.